Welcome. I'm Eva and this is Eva's Kitchen. Today we'll be making twice baked potatoes. And twice baked potatoes are baked twice in the oven. Once for the tenderness of the potatoes to cook. The second one is for the yumminess. So let's get started. We're going to take our nice potatoes and we're going to take them to the sink and get them all nice and washed and cleaned up. And make sure you scrub them real good to get all the dirt off of them, because remember, potatoes do come out of the ground. And we're going to take a paper towel and dry them nicely. And after we get them all nicely dried, see how nice that look? We're going to take our fork and prick little holes in them. That's to keep the moisture in them so the steam will come out of them and they'll bake nicely. And once we complete that, we're going to take them and we're going to spray some cooking oil all over them so they'll loosen up and bake nicely. This should take about an hour, so you can go and have yourself a cup of tea and relax and come back. And we'll have them all nicely baked, and then we'll get to the yumminess. We have our potatoes nicely washed and prepped. We have the hose poked in. We have this Pam sprayed on them. Now we're gonna bake them in the oven at 375 for 1 hour. So let's get these potatoes in the oven so we can get to the yumminess. These are the ingredients we're going to use for the twice baked potato. We need a medium-sized bowl. Today we're going to use salted butter for the taste, to bring the flavor out of the potatoes. We're going to use a little bit of sea salt. We're going to use a teaspoon of garlic powder, not salt. We're going to use black pepper, a teaspoon. We have an Italian style cheese. We have a mozzarella with Parmesan cheese and an old-fashioned cheddar. And the star of the show is the sour cream. We're gonna use about 3/4 of this sour cream, because that's where the flavor really gonna be enhanced. Go. Okay, they're nice and tender and juicy. We're gonna cut them down the middle. Look at there. Oh my goodness, look at there. Now that's what I'm talking about, flaky and tender. So we're gonna cut them down the middle. And once we get them cut down the middle, that is wonderful. Now, I'm going to take this towel, get my bowl, use a big spoon, take this potato, put it in the towel, keep from burning my hands, and I'm gonna scoop out the potato out of it and we're gonna mash it. So this takes about a minute or two. We're not going to discard the skin because we're going to use it as a base to put the potato once we mash it and put all the ingredients in it. That's how come it's called twice baked, because we're going to put the skin in the middle. Oop, I left some good meat in there. Come on out of there. We're going to get every little bit. Go. We used 4 large potatoes and looked like it was just enough for a 9 by 10 baking dish. Okay, we got all of our mashed potatoes out of the skin. So now I'm just gonna play around with this a little bit to even it out in the pan. This is a 9 by 12 baking dish. And add a little bit more in there. Sometimes you might leave a little meat left in there, so you can go back and scoop that out. And this is the twice baked part of it. I'm going to take these potatoes. I got the bottom of my baking dish sprayed with some Pam. That's so when I put them back in the oven to bake, they won't stick and it'll be easy to come out. But I'm gonna see if I can make enough to go through. I used 4 large potatoes and I just threw in an extra small one just to balance it out. So let me get in the refrigerator and get my half and half. I forgot to tell you about the half and half, but we're gonna need that. So never pour cold milk over warm potatoes. We wanna take this half and half and I'm going to just warm it up just a little bit. Remember, we're not gonna put cold milk on warm potatoes. So I took a cup and 3/4 of warm half and half and warmed it in the microwave. So I'm going to pour it over the mixture. So right now we got the milk in. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of sea salt on it. That's about a half a teaspoon. Got some black pepper. I have a little onion powder. Garlic powder. Okay, I'm gonna take my butter. Now, I'm gonna use quite a bit of butter. So, it's a rich dish because I'm using heavy cream and I'm using pure butter. So I'm gonna put 3/4 of a stick of this butter. So that would be like at least almost 8 tablespoons. Okay, we got our milk in. We're gonna use almost 8 tablespoons of butter because that's where the richness comes in. And I know it seems like a lot, but that's where the flavor is gonna come in and make these twice baked potatoes taste delicious. Now I have a hand mixer I'm gonna use and not my big KitchenAid because I don't need it right now. I'm going to take the sour cream and I'm going to scoop. That's 1 big heaping tablespoon. I think I used about 3 large tablespoons. I told you I was going to use almost 1/3 of the sour cream. Now we're going to go to the mixer and I'm going to mix this up. We got all our ingredients in. I'm not going to put the cheese in just yet. That would be my final stage. Okay, we got all our ingredients in. The butter, the sour cream, and the herbs. And we're gonna mix it well together before we put the cheese in on low spin. It's gonna make them nice and creamy. All right, that looks a little creamy. I creamed this for about at least 3 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna put this in my sink. My hands washed. I'm going to, doesn't that looks nice and creamy? You will be amazed how 4 potatoes and a half, a little spur that I put in there that I had left over, made a lot of potatoes. So I'm going to use my rubber spatula to fold in the cheeses. And I'm gonna leave a little bit for the top. I'm gonna fold this in with my rubber spatula. And don't forget to leave a bit for garnishment on the top. Oh, that looks so creamy, delicious. Let's take a little taste and see. Oh, that's wonderful. Has a good taste. You can, okay, that looks nice and creamy. Remember, we use mozzarella and Parmesan. We use an Italian blend. And don't forget the old-fashioned cheddar. Now you can use any cheese of your choice, but this is the choice, the cheese that we love in my family. So we use that and that's all blend in nicely. So I'm gonna clean my spatula off and use my big spoon. Now we got everything, all the cheeses mixed in. We save a little bit for garnishment for the top and let it melt through. So let's pour it over the potato skins. Oh my goodness, this is nice and thick. And can't wait to get into it. This will go well. Oh, got a little bit of cheese that didn't blend all the way through. Now this would be good with any type of meat of your choice. So go. You can even eat this on game day with some hot wings. Any type of wings of your choice. That's a meal right there. But it's a wonderful dish. Eat it with celery sticks to cut down on your calorie intake. If you're watching your calories and you don't want to put wings with it. Okay, don't that look wonderful? So now we're gonna garnish it. So let me put my bowl in the sink and wash my hands. Okay, got my hands all washed, got it in the bowl. Now I'm going to garnish it with some more cheese. This is a very rich dish. Cheddar just makes everything better. What about that? I just love cheddar cheese. Let's put this in the oven at 375 for about 20 to 30 minutes until the cheese caramelizes and melt together. And then we can take it out. And look at here. Would you just look at here? It's wonderful. Wonderful. When you start to smell it all through the kitchen, you know it's time to take it out. It almost looks like a casserole, but it's twice baked potatoes. Let's see. You see what I mean? When you can take your spatula and nothing's at the bottom, you did a good job with your pan. So that keeps it from sticking to the bottom and makes it easier to scoop out. Now, I think I'm gonna have to, I'm looking to use a knife to cut it because of the skin of the potato. Now, if you find it's not all the way cooked to your taste, give it another 10 minutes or so. But I had to get it, the skin of it. So you might have to use a knife, but this is the way it comes out. Isn't that wonderful? That's a wonderful dish. You got your skin, if you like your skin. You got the potato. I'm not going to dive right into that right now because it is hot. Doesn't that look wonderful? I'm just going to take a little bit because it's hot, just to make sure all the ingredients are all well blended and baked. Creamy and delicious. If you like what you see, subscribe, hit the like button, tell a friend, and remember, this is Eva, and this is Eva's Kitchen.